Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible, a Wood Elf production with your hosts, Wealthy Wade, Magisterial Mark, and Bantam Bob. This week, the Chunchering Cherubs chat about the lessons of longevity, or the lack thereof. A Tears in Rain realization. Yes, it's time for We Are All Going to Die. Please put thy affairs in order and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Distractible podcast. I am your host, Markiplier Fishbach, here to judge the stories with my co-hosts, Bob and Wade. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Feeling good.
Good. Are you going to feel good when I tell you we're all going to die?
Less good.
I love it. Yeah, let's go, man. Get there.
Do you want any small talk before we get into this?
Well, death's inevitable, so what's the point, Mark?
I know, right? No, shut up. I wanted you to hear something. I'm going to play something for you. And for you at home...
turned around.
Shut your whore mouth. You know, sometimes I feel like you don't take this seriously.
Duh.
Sometimes I feel like you're just here to enjoy, have a good time, and you're not here to tackle the hard issues. You're not here to get to the bottom of the truth, to see into the heart of evil.
At the heart of every story.
Hey, back off! I'm a reporter!
Markiplier is there to report what's real.
Look, I'm all for fuel economy, but blood just don't work that way.
No matter how terrifying it may be.
So how good is bone broth for you?
This is Nightmares of Futures Past.
Now, I want you guys to listen to something.
Okay.
If you're listening at home, you'll need good headphones to hear it.
Are you hearing something? Wait, I'm not hearing anything.
How good do our headphones need to be?
How about this?
Oh.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to kick off this episode by talking about a phenomenon known as the Windsor hum. Have you guys ever heard of this?
I tied a Windsor knot once.
No, but maybe. It rings some kind of bell, but I'm not specifically remembering it very well.
The Windsor hum is a hum that originated in Windsor, Ontario. And it's a sound that's been heard for years by multiple people. And it's a noise that has been perpetuating this town and plaguing this town and its inhabitants for years.
Is it a full or a half Windsor? You guys hate me and I get it.
You can ignore him.
Totally get it.
You can ignore him.
I'm going to
that's
ignore
fine.
him. I'm going to ignore him. The reason the name of this episode is We're All Going to Die is because there are multiple occurrences across the world of either strange noises, weird booms, like extravagant displays of light that aren't auroras that occur throughout the world and are unknown and their sources aren't understood. So what I'd like to open up the discussion today is every single possible way that we're going to die. What is plaguing the world? What is going on out there? And how are we all going to meet our untimely end?
Humanity is the biggest plague. That's how we're going to end ourselves.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know. That's not my answer. But humans are pretty bad.
Yeah. Point for Wade. He was actually correct.
Yeah.
The Windsor hum, which is, I don't, can you guys not hear this?
Right now, I hear nothing.
I heard like a and then like nothing.
Yeah. You're not hearing that?
Nope.
That is, I think, the true sound. The other one is like a recreation of the sound, but this one is the true sound that people actually heard in Ontario. And it wasn't until the pandemic ended that they discovered the source of the hum was a U.S. steel facility, because the Canadians were living near the U.S. border and they heard a steel facility which had a blast furnace that was going nonstop because that's just what it did. It was on a thing called Zug Island. And in the pandemic, when everything shut down, the steel facility shut down and the blast furnaces finally went quiet. And then everyone in the town realized that they weren't actually crazy because the noise went away, just like suddenly.
So this isn't necessarily about dying. That would be such a weird experience.
I know, right?
The whole town. So that I'm reading descriptions of the Windsor hum.
Yeah.
It says for over a decade,
Yeah.
this has been going on, and that there's a low frequency component to it that would rattle windows, shake houses, that it would sort of come and go. But like, so you're just in your house, you live in Windsor, you're a Windsorian, and you're just sitting there enjoying breakfast, and suddenly your whole house is just like your spoon on the table is just like tinging a little bit. I don't know. That'd be so weird.
Yeah.
Like for a decade, and everyone in the whole town is like, yeah, you hear that? What is that?
Yeah.
What the hell? I feel like I'm insane. And then it just stops.
Yeah.
It'd be so weird.
Because this is the kind of thing that people were talking about in this town. They were talking all the time of like, oh, you're crazy, I don't hear anything. Or like, no, it's nothing, it's nonsense, it's in your head. People thought that it was just in their head.
Yeah.
But it was really a steel facility. And like, oh my God, number one, how powerful was this blast furnace that it was able to generate this frequency that shook the earth, like legitimately shook the earth. And I know that we have things that can do stuff like that, like fracking. It like blasts stuff underground and like destroys, you know, the base layers of the soil and whatever. And it's just like terrible to do. But it's like the fact that we can have these like profound effects, and who knows what other effects that we have that are unknown just because it's part of the technological process. Like, remember when all those birds were just falling out of the sky? Do you remember that?
Yeah, now you bring it up.
That sort of just happened and then stopped happening.
I know, right? Birds just freaking fell out of the sky. And people were just like, that's weird. And I don't remember ever hearing anything about it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's the sort of thing. So I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. I'm open to the idea of like ghosts and supernatural sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not huge on like, ooh, some mysterious supernatural thing is gonna get us or whatever.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that where it reads as supernatural, maybe. Like I'm sure some of the people in the town were like, this is a sign. This is bad.
Yeah.
There's no way humans are causing this. We would be able to figure out what it was. It's plaguing an entire city, and we have no idea what this is. And it was just us.
Yeah.
But like stuff that reads like that, that's the kind of stuff that will drive people insane. And that I feel like you were saying, like we don't fully understand the consequences necessarily of everything we might do. And technology advancing, you know, people are going to try stuff, and something might just blow up the whole earth, destabilize the molten core of the earth, or, you know, reverse the magnetic field, which is happening on its own anyway or something. But like that's the kind of stuff that I believe might start to happen as technology gets crazier and people get more reckless and things get desperate, right? Like, you know, there are huge weather events happening. There are huge parts of our country and other countries around the world living on the coasts, especially like ocean coastline, where it's like we might need to retreat a little bit in the next century. You know, if you live 100 feet from the ocean, that's maybe not a great place to live as things are changing, as temperatures are rising, ocean levels are rising, like all of these changes. So like people are going to get desperate. It's going to go from like, oh, we need to advance technology in a responsible way to like, oh, we got to fix this. So what do you do? And then some guy is just like, oh, let's drop a nuclear bomb in the bottom of the ocean and it'll make it deeper. We'll suck the water back down. What do you do if your tub's overflowing? You get a bigger tub, obviously. Like, I don't know. People are idiots. Even smart people are idiots. So that might be the way we go extinct. Just like a series of unfortunate self-extinction activities.
Well, yeah, our own panic, because throughout history, every time we've had something that we can't explain, we were like, oh, it must be something supernatural. It's a witch. They're a witch. Not that long ago. I forget what this is called, but you know those like machines they'll use to, they'll go and they'll like remove like little circles of dirt like all over a yard and stuff like that.
Aerators?
Oh yeah, aerators.
Yeah.
Like they poke the little holes and they leave little turds all over?
Yeah.
I remember when I was young and I went someplace that just had that done, and I didn't know that was a thing. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, what is wrong with this field to where every animal comes here to take a shit? Why are there so many turds in this one spot?
Yeah.
I was like, there must be something weird with like the grass or the dirt, because every animal seems to come here to shit.
That's so funny because I also had the same kind of idea. It was just like, what in the hell happened here that all of the worms like pushed dirt and dug a hole here? I had a different idea of what happened there, but both were wrong. Yeah. And it was just like, because we didn't know there was a tool that could just aerate a field like that. Like, and it's weird to think about. There's a specialized tool that doesn't just punch a hole in the ground. It goes out. It's a tiny mini shovel that goes and grabs dirt and pulls it out and plops it on the top. Like, that's weird. Yeah. That's really weird. And just like the guy in the blast furnace, that's like, he has 13 headphones over his ears because the noise is just like gonna explode his head if he actually heard it. And he's like, oh, I can't imagine where that Windsor hum comes from. Fucking idiots over there, they're crazy. You know, and then he cranks some more steel out.
Okay, I have 2 points. One is very unrelated and one is kind of related.
Okay.
About the aeration thing. That's not even the weirdest yard care tool that exists. I just want to say this.
Oh yeah, what's that?
There is, I forget what it's called. There's a thing. I've been going down this YouTube rabbit hole of lawn care people. There's a whole community of lawn mowing people of different varieties. There's this thing that it rakes up the dead grass that apparently fills your lawn. I don't know. It's like a weird little knifey, spinny thing. You run it over your grass and it pulls up all the dead grass things, and then you mow, suck it up off your lawn or rake it up off your lawn or whatever. Lawn care is weird, man.
Well, lawns are weird in general. I mean, the whole principle of a lawn.
It's a weird phenomenon.
It's such a strange use of land because when I went over to Korea to visit my family, everyone in their neighborhood had a garden in their yard. Their yard was a garden. And the neighbors right across the street from my grandma's house, they just grew peppers. And they grew so many peppers. They were harvesting them last time I was over there. And they just had buckets and buckets and buckets of peppers. And I'm like, that is so many peppers. You're good forever. And it's like, if everyone just had a garden in their lawn where they do just as much work to maintain the meticulousness of the grass and the level and the greenery. It's like they could just grow vegetables and fruit. I remember I had an orange tree and a grapefruit tree at my old house, and we had more oranges and grapefruit than we could ever eat. It was so many fruit. And it was just like, man, if I went to the store and I bought all this, it would cost me so much money. And I have so much with 2 trees that I don't even know what to do with it all.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about how we waste our land. We just waste the space when we could be making our own food. Food just comes up out of the ground. It doesn't appear at the grocery store. It comes up out of the ground and it's everywhere.
I tried planting some ham, but I didn't get a pig tree.
You have to actually plant a live baby pig.
Oh, okay.
What about a fetal pig? The one you dissect? Does that work?
No, those are scary. You don't want those. That would give you a haunted pig tree.
Pre or post dissection?
Oh, I don't know. I think
Both are bad. Post dissection's way worse.
A tree that grows up out of the ground and one day just fruits just pig's head and they're all screaming and squealing at you. Just keeping you up at night.
Oh god, it's like some Harry Potter nightmare shit.
Well, there's an explanation. You see, there's a platinum plant just down the road that caused the pig trees to grow.
Is that a reference to something?
I get you. I see the reference.
I don't.
I'm not going to give a point for it's to the steel plant because it's he's trying to the Windsor noise and all that stuff. I don't know what's causing.
Well, that circles back to my other thing I was going to say.
You're welcome.
About the Windsor hum.
Windsor hum.
I know for the people at Windsor, it must have been maddening. And they were like, what is happening? What is this? 100%. At least one dude in charge of that steel factory knew exactly what the fuck was happening. I don't know how far Windsor was from Zug Island. Just 100% chance that one of the middle management or upper management dudes lived in Windsor, or one time he went to Windsor for a meeting or something and was there and was like, your windows are rattling, guys. That's weird. And they're like, yeah, it's a hum. I don't know where it comes from. And he thought about it for a second. He was like, oh, that sounds a lot like our blast furnace. I better not say anything. And he went home, and for years, this one dude was like, we need steel. You can't shut down the steel factory just because we're slowly driving an entire town full of humans insane. I can't do anything about it. That's just how it is. It's fine. They'll be fine. Or he told the boss, he's like, boss, I think our factory is the source of the hum in Windsor. You heard about that, right? And the owner is like, yeah, I heard about that. And no one else is going to hear about this. Okay? Or we're going to have a problem. I would hate for anything bad to happen to Jessica. So I think you're just going to keep this to yourself. And that that has to have happened. There's no way that no person from that plant ever went to Windsor or heard about that and didn't piece together hey, we operate a fucking loud plant that shakes my entire soul every time I'm inside of it. I wonder if that's the thing that's shaking the ground in Windsor 10 miles away. I don't know.
Not even 10 miles away. I just looked it up. It is 1 mile away, right across the Detroit River.
That's not even far. People lived in Windsor and worked at the plant. God.
They come home from the plant every day God, this fucking hum sounds like my job. I can't get away from it.
My head is still ringing from being at that plant. We need better headphones over there.
There's no shot that someone didn't know that, and then someone was just like, we need the steel plant. God dang.
Yeah, no, someone had to know, and they were just like, oh, can't tell anybody. It's like just how all the petroleum companies knew about climate change in the 50s. And, they were just like, well, can't tell anybody about this, or else we'll never be able to do oil again,
We should release some studies showing that babies that breathe in a small amount of gasoline, vapors, whatever, exhaust, actually grow up bigger and stronger. I'll get people on side.
They're bigger and stronger. The tumors really increase their height, like when their spine expands from the pressure from the teratomas inside them.
Muscle tumors. Just extra muscles everywhere. How do we prove that?
Yeah. The mutants from Fallout? Yeah, they're going to look like that, but, good. Yeah, real good.
There were a couple good super mutants.
There was one.
There might have been two.
I think there was one.
That's twice as many. That's 100% more.
Yeah.
Than what
You're right.
So
I'm wrong
big
and
improvement.
I'm stupid. Yeah, that's a good point. I won't give you a point for it, but it's a good point.
What was the original prompt here? Oh, how are we going to die?
Yeah, we're all going to die. Or death or whatever. You know what?
Wade, have you had the dream yet that tells you how you're going to die? Because I've totally had mine.
I'm sorry?
That's the thing, right? Eventually you have a dream and that's how you die. The dream explains how you're going to die.
I don't die very often in my dreams, but I had one a few years ago to where, what's that convenience store in LA? Ralph's? Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
That is a
that's
grocery store.
Grocery store.
So I had a dream a few years ago. It was a really good dream. There was like a group of friends. I don't remember who all was there. You guys might have been there, whatever. I was in California with this group of people, and we met up at like a Ralph's parking lot, and we were just like sitting around chatting and laughing in the parking lot, like because we all hadn't seen each other in a while. And all of a sudden, a plane flew overhead and dropped a nuke. And I looked up, saw, and like you heard like the. And like everyone started screaming and running, and I looked up and I just sat down on the ground and like crossed my legs, and I just like I knew there was no point in running, so I just accepted it. And like as it hit and exploded, I woke up. So I imagine based on that prophecy, I'm going to die in a Ralph's parking lot to a nuclear bomb.
If you avoid LA forever, that's how you don't die, because Ralphs aren't where you are.
Are you going to live forever if you just don't ever go to LA again?
I think that's the answer.
Bro, makes sense now why you refuse to move to California, a clearly superior state.
I can end the world by moving to California.
I think this is all part of a subconscious thing to make him never move to California. Like, this is why he hates us leaving. He's like, no, the nukes.
You guys coming back, we can live happily. I come there, we all die.
You listen to hypnosis tapes as you're falling asleep about how bad and evil LA is, and have dreams about how you die if you go to LA. It's your own training coming true. But anyway, yeah, Mark, have you had your death dream?
I don't know. I've had many dreams where I die. Like lots and lots of dreams. I've dreamt of the moon crashing into the earth.
No, don't fuck around with us, Mark. Tell us your death dream. The one.
Yeah, you should know, man.
The one death dream, man. I guess I haven't had it yet. When does it ordinarily come? Is it just like something that happens
Before death.
That is accurate.
Wade, you're right.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Dan.
You're right. Oh man. No. But this thing is too small. I don't have my death dream yet. I don't know what that is. I'm talking about world-ending calamities. I'm talking about the things that are going to be the bane of our existence. Much like mass coronal ejections are about to fuck us all into last century.
Dude, that shit's terrifying.
Dude, yeah. You guys know
What are you talking about? What?
Coronal mass ejection?
Coronal, yeah, whatever. Sun stuff.
Is that COVID vaccination?
No.
Don't.
No, a coronal.
Okay, not corona.
Yeah.
Coronal.
Yeah, for everyone at home who wants to be permanently paranoid from now on and forever, a coronal mass ejection is a significant release of plasma accompanying a magnetic field from a solar corona. They often follow solar flares and are normally present during a solar prominence eruption. The plasma is released into the solar wind and can be observed in the coronagraph imagery. So basically, to boil it down, the sun farts and it blasts material from the sun, not just light, but like intensely heated magnetic material that gets shot out like a stream of water from the sun, and it can blast out towards the earth and hit it.
Okay.
But it's probably fine.
Look at this coronagraph, and then just the world ends.
Yeah. I mean, it legitimately, this happens so much more frequently than people know. The last hit, I believe, was in the early 1900s, and it caused telegraph stations like across the world.
It's essentially like a global EMP, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It has similar impacts. So like now everything is digital. Every satellite in the sky is an electronic.
Yes.
If a large enough ejection occurred, it could essentially disable every piece of electronic, probably not every single one, but most electronics on, around, and near Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like we need electronics to do everything in our everyday life.
No, not at all.
That would probably have an impact.
It would probably have a profound impact because it would damage satellites, electronic transmission lines. Because, we just hang them out in the air. Have you ever thought about that? We just all of our power is just strung about in horrible nests of wires. Like I was driving through LA and I just was looking around at all the wires and I'm like, God, that shit's just everywhere. It's all over the place. Like recently, my pool was electrified.
Ooh.
And this wasn't even because of the wires were above ground. No, they were below ground, but there was a fuse box that we didn't know was damaged because it was hidden around below it. And when we stood on the ground next to the pool and touched the metal railing that was nearby, you could feel the electricity flowing through your body. And it's just like, man, that's no good. And that's just from a faulty wire that occurred. Imagine if all of the wires across the whatever side of the world got hit at that particular time, just we're flooded with electromagnetisms and sparked and shorted out and burst and fuses pops and whole substations exploded and transformers blew.
I wouldn't get to watch my soaps.
Do you watch soaps, Wade?
Do you even know what soaps are?
Yeah. There's Dove and
God fucking.
Yeah, real quick side tangent. Growing up, my sister was always home before I was, and if I wanted to watch TV, I had to sit and do my homework while she watched her soap operas, and that's all I got to watch. I got to watch General Hospital while I did my homework.
Wow.
Otherwise, I had to go to my room and do my homework, and I preferred to have at least some TV in the background.
That's fantastic. I mean, not fantastic for you, but that is just a fantastic story. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I'll give you a point.
Okay, so you're looking for theories about how humanity ends.
Yeah, anything like that. Or anything could, or some badness for humanity.
The competition that drives us in everything, politics, sports, just existence, toilet paper, paper towels, all of that will lead to the infighting where we destroy ourselves and rip each other apart to shreds. And then someone in charge is going to start slamming the missile buttons, and then all of the missiles will be flying around, colliding into each other. And the lasers will be like someone trying to play Galaga, whatever the hell that game was called, just pew, 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 pew. They can't hit them all, and then we all explode and die.
You really got about this whole nuke thing.
I had a dream.
Yeah.
Ralph's is the key.
Ralph's is the key, man. Ralph's is definitely the key. Now, when you were talking about something before we started recording, you want to talk about that? Because it's not really a world-ending thing, but it kind of makes you lose faith in humanity.
I was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. What was the topic?
This was 10 minutes ago. Okay, 25 minutes ago.
Well, before, I got a bad memory. What was it? What were we talking about? Say a word. I'll remember.
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yeah. The whole SpaceX thing.
No, well, no.
No.
So there was a meme that led me to this. It was a meme of Jeff Bezos with a mustache saying, "Hello, FAA, I have concerns about the SpaceX launch site." And I was looking into that. We were I was just reading the replies or whatever. It was a Reddit thing. And there's I don't know how this had to do with the world ending, but I think it was William Shatner was talking to him about this is the story you're talking about, right? How's this world ending?
Yeah. No, it's called Distractible. Anything, make it relate.
All right. Well, William Shatner was talking about dealing with alcoholism and recovering from that and stuff like that. And mid conversation, Jeff Bezos just hey, hang on a second. Hey, shut up. Hey, bring that champagne over here. And they crack it open and just start celebrating.
Yeah. Oh my God. If anyone's seen this, it's kind of nuts. Just because William Shatner is literally talking about the most profound experience I can imagine. It's so emotional. It's beautiful. It makes you forget about all the problems. And then Jeff Bezos is like, I gotta do this. Kapow! And
you just see William Shatner put his hands in his pockets and turn away.
God, it's like that shit makes me think that, oh man, does humanity deserve any of this?
There's just so much instant me that people don't even realize what the hell's going on. Do people even listen to each other when they converse anymore?
No, I don't know, man. I don't think so. Especially Jeff Bezos. You think Jeff Bezos listens to anybody?
No, I think he waits for them to finish talking or gets bored of them talking, and it's just but here's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, it's just such an egotistical thing to be I went to space space, like as if that is like the golden accomplishment of like the reaching everything of like, I have so much money, I can shoot myself into space. And then someone goes along, like William Shatner, like comes along and he's just like able to look at the earth from above and have that overview effect. And that is life-changing. Like astronauts have always said about having the overview effect, it just changes your entire perspective about the world because perspective is important for people. And then Jeff Bezos comes along, he's like, you want some caviar? I got champagne, get my Rolls Royce, let's get out of here. We'll go to space again next week. That'll be fun. That'll be great. I mean, I yearn for the day that space travel is so easy that anybody can go there and people can get bored of it. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. But we won't get there unless we're like pushing boundaries at least.
I think that the amount of interaction we can have now with social media, with texting, with all like there's just so much access, all of like the Discords and Skypes of the world and things like that, that we're used to being able to converse via these like quick means, as well as, you know, listen to music at the same time or watch a video or play a game or combine. We're so used to all these multitasking things that we're used to giving such a sliver of ourselves to so many different things at once that we're losing focus on giving all of ourselves to one project. And there are times where we have to, you know, buckle down and just focus, like, you know, oh, I got a term paper due, so I got to do nothing but this paper for a bit. I got to make sure I crank it out. Like, I'm not saying we can no longer do that, but we're choosing not to a lot more often. And I think that, you know, you can see it interacting, like affecting social interaction like that. Because who does that? Who listens to someone talk about like, you know, something so serious and whatever, and it's just like alcoholism, champagne, or, you know, cutting someone off like that and like looking like a total asshole. Normally there's more self-awareness than that. But I think, I mean, one, the privilege and stuff that guy lives, but it's not that uncommon, I don't think.
Dude, there's no self-awareness. I have a completely unrelated tangent story, but like I thought of it. New Zealand Council ends contract with Wizard after 2 decades of service. It was written by Eva Corlett. The Wizard, whose real name is Ian Brackenbury Chanel, 88, had been contracted to Christchurch City Council for the past 2 decades to promote the city through acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services. However, he was fired after an appearance on New Zealand Today where the Wizard said he liked to tease women by telling them they were devious and said they use cunning to get men who are thick. Quote, I love women. I forgive them all the time. I've never struck one yet. Never strike a woman because they bruise too easily is the first thing, and they'll tell the neighbors and their friends. God. And then you're in big trouble. And I'm like, that is the most contradictory like quote I've ever seen. I've never hit one yet, but I know exactly what happens when you strike a woman. Yeah. It's just like, and then he got fired, and it's just like, but this city had paid this guy $16,000 a year, a total of $368,000 to promote the city through wizardry, and this guy gets on a show and says that. It's just the most completely unaware thing you could possibly say in your life, and just the most revealing that you're just a piece of shit. But also, who hired the guy? Like, what
does it mean to promote a city through wizardry?
I don't know, man.
Not to overlook the assholiness of this dude, but also, what the fuck did you just say in my ears here?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is legitimately what the quote of the article is.
Yeah, okay. I actually have a Twitch stream and a YouTube channel. I'll actually promote for hundreds of thousands. Cincinnati, if you want me to promote your city through online means, I'll fucking wear a hat and grow my beard out a bit. I'll be a wizard.
That's exactly what this guy was. The guy who hired him is a guy named Mike Moore, who was the Prime Minister of New Zealand at the time. The Prime Minister. And he said, quote, I am concerned that your wizardry is not at the disposal of the entire nation. I suggest, therefore, that you should urgently consider my suggestion that you become the Wizard of New Zealand, Antarctica, and relevant offshore areas.
Did he like watch King Arthur? He's like, King Arthur had Merlin. I need a wizard. They filmed Lord of the Rings down here. I need a Gandalf in my court.
Pretty much. There's no vetting his character or past at all, because this guy was 88, so he was hired when he was like 65 or something like that. No, you're good. You got a wizard hat. I like you.
This quote is so good and also makes me die a little inside. They asked him about how he felt about being fired, and he's not very happy about it. Yeah. But his statement about the council was, quote, it's just they don't like me because they are old, boring bureaucrats, and everyone likes me, and no one likes them. It's like a 5-year-old. You pull aside on the playground and you're like, whoa, why are you throwing basketballs at people's head? Why would you like, they didn't let me play with them, and it's because they're boring and old and everyone likes me and no one likes them. And so I threw the ball. I was like, What?
Now that sounds like something from a 5-year-old, but being as he's a wizard, maybe we just can't interpret the words.
He's got the childlike wonder of a wizard and also the childlike speech and language abilities of a child.
How do you hire a wizard to promote who are they promoting to? The other wizards and witches?
Dude, do you know why we know about New Zealand right now? It's because of the Wizard of New Zealand, obviously.
That's true. The only reason the Your Welcome tour ever went to New Zealand was because the wizard contacted our touring agents and they're like, hey,
You're right.
bring them boys down here. We'll cast eternal fame and fortune on them. Now they must have missed us, but they were supposed to do that. That was the deal. They were going to sacrifice a frog, a newt.
I like to imagine that just like the mayor of the city, the mayor of Christchurch, where he was the wizard, was just a guy who was really into like kids' birthday party magic. And so it was a thing where the mayor was like, no, we need to have a wizard. He's my wizard. He's the wizard of the city.
Yeah.
And the council's like, okay. He's like at a meeting and the mayor is there and the wizard comes up to the mayor guy. It's like, ooh, what's this behind your ear? Oh, it's a quarter. Oh, you could keep that. And the mayor is just like, see, that's why we need a wizard. And the whole rest of the council is like, oh my God, I fucking hate this guy. How is this guy in charge of our city?
His inauguration party, they've got a big cake and a clown and a wizard. And they're just running around saying which one entertains them the most. He's like, do we need a court jester or do we need a court wizard?
Oh my God, why not both? Tell the one about how you don't strike women again. Love that one.
Do you ever wonder, after seeing Endgame and like really contemplating time and timelines, do you ever wonder what the fuck happened to put us on like a timeline that shouldn't exist? We talk about 2021 and like, oh, how can this happen in 2021? There's a fucking leader of the goddamn world who has a court wizard.
Okay, calm down.
What in the fuckity fuck?
Calm down. It's a city council. It's a city council. It's a big city.
Okay, even if it was a small town in Fucksville, North Dakota, I don't care. How?
Dude, it was the 90s? 23 years ago? Yeah, it was the 90s.
Oh, well, thank God. It was, man, what a prehistoric time the 90s
Dude,
were.
90s was a different era. You know, things happened crazy in the 90s. We didn't have things to worry about. It's all good. It's all good.
So in like 2050, we're gonna look back like, oh, it was the 2020s, man. They didn't even did they even have toothbrushes back then? Fucking 2020ers. Yuck.
Yeah.
If there is a 2050.
All right, I guess I'm curious, Wade. So this you find comical and ridiculous. How do you feel about Japanese town mascots?
Ooh.
I don't know if you know this trend.
No.
There is a trend, I don't know if it's exclusively in Japan, and I know about this mainly from John Oliver because he did a piece on this and also made a John Oliver town mascot thing. But there's this trend where a lot of towns around Japan invent, like, you know how like the Olympics has like a mascot and it's like, you know, sometimes it's horrifying.
Or like
sometimes-
college teams like the UC Bearcat and stuff like that?
Sure.
Okay.
Japanese towns, for advertising and like tourism purposes, are inventing mascots, and they're big. They're becoming sort of famous. They're kind of like the Domo guy, Domo-kun or whatever. The, you know, nom 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 guy.
Yeah.
But like, do you think that is stupid?
I guess, is the point of this, the mascots and the wizard, is the point of it just like a big public spectacle to like, I don't know, distract from the shitty stuff the leaders are doing? It's like, oh, look at our dancing boy over here. He's dancing. Woohoo. Look at him. Be happy. Yay. Cheer. We got a mascot. We got a wizard.
I think Mark said this, but if he didn't, the point of the wizard was to, quote, promote the city through acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services.
Yeah,
he is an
sounds like-
advertisement.
That sounds like, the way it was worded, it sounds like the fucking leader actually believed that he was going to go cast a spell and promote. Is he just going to go on TV? Is it just like the car salesman who's like, I've got a Santa hat on, therefore, you know, come buy my used cars because I'm actually Santa. Like, is it just a bullshit marketing scheme? Or is there like, does this prime minister actually believe that this dude's going to cast a spell and help him lead better?
I'm pretty sure it probably started as just a gimmick.
I think it's a marketing gimmick.
But I have such little faith in humanity that even if things like that have like an innocent beginning, like, oh, it's just a wizard, like, but also someone's gonna be like, I fucking respect the magic and power of the Wizard of New Zealand. And if anyone besmirches his name, I will shoot them in the face.
That's an actual audio recording of the drunken prime minister at a party. I fucking respect you and your magic, and I could not sign bills into law if it weren't for you.
I mean, is that how Rasputin got his start? Like, isn't that kind of the story of how it was? Like, whatever who was the princess that like had him as an advisor, and he just kind of like, yes, I have powers and I can make sure that you're good, and people would believe it. And that's probably how, like, back in the day when wizards were, or if there were wizarding type things and people that were like, yes, I'm magic and I can make things happen. Like, that's how it gets started. Like, someone's like, oh shit, a wizard. I can have my own wizard in my court. Like, it's kind of like, I feel like it goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway, off topic. Get back to the point at hand. How are we all going to die?
Well, that wizard's gonna hear our podcast and he's gonna cast a spell to kill us and end all the humanity.
You think he's a distractible listener?
Oh, absolutely.
Out of pure spite.
Isn't that our audience? Only old people listen to podcasts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Only a person who is a self-proclaimed wizard would possibly have any interest in half the shit we talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like writing down. They're like, ooh, that sounds like a good spell. Teratomus nauis. Got it.
No, please.
Hermes pleasus.
I'm surprised that your nuke dream hasn't like morphed into clowns parachuting down while you're in a Ralph's parking lot. You're just like, oh god, no.
Look, I peaked early on this podcast. I can't go back to the parachuting clowns. I'll never live up to the hype that I started.
Yeah, you just made 2 callbacks and you're like, no, not the clowns. Like, you shut your face. It's Teratoma and Herms.
No, I don't deserve my own clown reference. It was so good.
All right, calm down. It wasn't that good.
Everybody thinks pretty highly of their ideas.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just looked into some tea leaves and it told me I will never be as good as I was during my parachuting clowns moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, humanity is going to end in a whimper with the world leaders telling everyone that everything is okay and most of the population starving to death. And then the remaining ones, the rich people who do have food and money, basically killing each other for the remaining food and whatever resources they're fighting over until there's, like one cadre left and they're out of everything and they just die whimpering in their big palatial mansion.
Okay, well, that's a pessimistic way we're going to die. What about an optimistic way? Make it happier.
An optimistic way?
Yeah, give me I want to laugh when I die. Come on.
All right. The end of the world is actually going to be when the Martians from Mars Attacks show up and everyone thinks it's like they're redoing the movie or something, or it's like a marketing thing, and they're just going to kill everyone. And everyone's going to be so entranced and think it's so funny because they're all, and then everyone's going to have a great time until humanity is completely eliminated. But we're all going to die smiling.
Change.
Humanity is going to realize that we forgot our cell phone at home and we should have aired up the tires in the car, and we're going to take that one corner that we always take a little too fast even faster because we want to get back because our phone is probably full of great messages and tweets we've missed. And the front, it's a right turn, we're going around, and the front left tire is just really low and it's old and it's dry rotted, and it just goes out and humanity slams into the guardrail and flies down the side of this mountain, and we die hanging upside down in our car wondering if there's a missed text from that girl that we're into waiting for us on our cell phone.
I don't know if this is all of humanity in their own cars at the same time or all of humanity in one car.
Collectively, yes, and also no.
I picture one car like a Doyle's rule, like just humanity rules, going back and just going off the cliffside.
That's how it ends, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Wade, give me a happy ending for humanity.
Enough rich people are going to launch rockets into space that they're going to poke a hole in the atmosphere that can't quite close fast enough, and oxygen and all the air will be sucked out and we'll all just be suffocated and dead. And then after they're done popping their champagne in space, they're going to come back down to find all of us like floating corpses on the planet and be like, huh, Or for us, I guess. And they'll just continue living their lives on their rocket ship. as
Change.
the rest of us
Make
are
it
going.
happier.
Well, they're going to bring champagne down and they're going to throw it up into space and go, woohoo! And the champagne's going to rain down and expand because physics, and so much champagne will hit the earth that we all drown in our own alcohol dream boat.
I am impressed that there's enough billionaires in the world that they would throw enough champagne into the sky that it would drown us collectively. I think that's an ambitious and very happy
But not enough
part.
billionaires. The billionaires have enough money to have that much champagne.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, the billionaires aren't doing the throwing. They're having their people do that for them.
Right.
They're court champagne throwers.
They're just watching it and enjoying it.
They're court bathers.
They're court bathers.
Well, yeah, if you're that rich, you don't bathe yourself. Someone else comes and does it for you.
God.
Jeff Bezos is sitting in his court in his mansion.
Does he have a
just like
throne? God, does Jeff Bezos have a throne?
A throne.
listening to a row of stand-up comedians all in a row just coming up, and they tell a joke that doesn't land. He's just like, next. Kill him. And at some point, Jeff is just like, I stink. Fetch the court bather. And everyone has to awkwardly watch Jeff Bezos get like a sponge bath.
Yeah.
And he has no shame whatsoever. He stands up and just goes full naked minutes before the court bather is even there. He's just standing there naked, just like, tell a joke, comedian.
Yeah. God.
Come on, Jerry Seinfeld. What are you doing? I'm old, so you're the kind of stand-up comedian I like, Jerry Seinfeld.
The idea that a billionaire's good time is hiring as many comedians as possible and having a round.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was a billionaire. Come on.
God. Oh my God.
Who's not here for stand-up acts, am I right? What I would do is I would hire pairs of comedians and I would give them a set, and I would have them each do the set. And you'd have to, whoever wins gets to live. It's not your material, but you have to make it your own, and you can change it, but you can't really go off script too far. It's just, it's like a gladiatorial comedy death match.
Yeah. Oh man, there should be a comedy death match. You think Joe Rogan's gonna toss some people around in there, or do you think Bill Burr's gonna come stabbing? I hope Brian Regan comes in with a submachine gun. I love the idea of a comedian death battle. Oh, that's beautiful.
Someday when I'm a billionaire. Dreams can come true,
Wait, if you were a billionaire, what would you spend your fortune on?
I'd create a zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Wow.
Just to see if I could. And then I'd create a vaccine and be like, here's the vaccine. I'd see how many people would be like taking it, and how many people would be like, I don't trust you, and wouldn't take it. I'd laugh at them, and I'd put them into a pit and watch them battle other undead.
Jesus Christ. All right, so never make Wade a billionaire because this is a horrible experience.
My idea was normal, Wade.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Freak?
I would dress them up in one would be like Roman gladiator zombies, and they'd be going against like
Oh,
the.
Gladiator was my thing. Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
that was
whoa,
his
whoa,
thing.
whoa,
Don't
whoa,
steal
whoa,
his
whoa,
idea.
whoa.
Come on there,
man. Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
How dare you? I don't get it.
Isn't he the guy who was notorious for stealing jokes?
I don't know if it was true or not.
And you get a lot of shit for that.
I don't know. I've never stolen any jokes from him.
That's true.
I have no beef, Carlos. I know you listen. It's okay, buddy.
Your idea was dressing up zombies and different things, make them fight to the death.
I specifically said the word gladiatorial deathmatch. I referenced gladiators and that idea explicitly in my description of my idea. So not the zombies, but the rest of what you were saying, yeah.
It's different enough. I changed up one thing. You can't copyright it all. You can't have all gladiators.
Mark turns to Wade and is like, Wade, what's your idea? I would hire dramatic actors. I would give them the same script, and I would have them face off in one-on-one gladiator-style acting battles. That's my idea. No, it's actors. Yours was comedy.
No,
It's
yeah, that was different. That was a different idea, Bob.
You know, wait, that was actually a movie, a 1996 movie starring Sean Penn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember when every idea we ever had was a movie and no one would let us forget it?
Well, actually, it was based on a 1946 book first. Actually.
Stupid piece of shit.
Actually, the world was going to end this way. Every idea you guys said was from different ways people have already thought the world might end because people have thought about how the world ends before. Stupids.
I think the world is going to end because Wade is going to tweet something that is so patently false and infuriating on its face that so many internet people, all collectively at the exact moment they read the tweet as it's sent out, will actually so hard that it will cause a reverberation at the exact right pitch punch that will resonate the entire earth and shatter it into chunks, like one of those chocolate orange balls that breaks up into slices what you have at Christmas sometimes. Everyone has those, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Take that, Wade. You're the end of the world. How's that feel?
Well, had to be something, so I guess at least I'll go down doing what I love most, and that's tearing down the entire fucking planet and all of existence.
All right. Wait, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah,
and
sure.
some points of writing on this. If there was a button in front of you
Okay.
that launched every nuke in the world to cover every square inch of the Earth in atomic hellfire, would you press it?
Nah, I would end things too quickly.
What?
Need to have the zombie apocalypse. It's more of like a slow burn kind of tear the world down.
Okay.
If I launched every nuke and every nuke went off, it would just be, we're gone. Like, you know, there's not enough suffering and darkness.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for answering honestly. I'll take that into consideration as I bring this episode to a close.
Wait.
All right. Yes.
I hate to say for the record that I don't actually want to cause the world to end. I wouldn't want to cause a zombie apocalypse. But if we were in a zombie apocalypse, do you guys think I would live?
No.
I don't think I would live as long as you might, and I don't think any of the three of us would last very long in a zombie apocalypse.
No.
I think Mark might, because I think
Because he's short, hard to see.
Okay. Come on, man. Deducting points.
I could see him, like, the final thing he tweets is like, hey, humanity's last bastion is in Markiplierville, Oklahoma. And everyone, like, flocks there and they go to Markiplier Town. And it's like that city he had in Minecraft, like, way back when.
Yeah.
Where everyone's just going around building, like, thrones and statues. And, like, he totally loses himself, becomes, like, the Wharf Stash persona and is, like, leading this, like, horrible... I think Mark would lead the zombie apocalypse monster town.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, definitely.
You're welcome.
I would have fans that try to rescue me and inadvertently bring the zombie apocalypse straight to my doorstep. And I don't appreciate that because like I may be able to outrun some zombies here and there, you know, like, but eventually people would kill me for sport. I believe it.
I think you'd be with a group of people. You'd be laying low, you know, sort of skulking around a town, trying to gather some supplies and stuff. And then the zombies that are sort of shambling out in the street, just sort of looking around, not paying attention. One of them will be peering in the store that you guys are in, half aware, and they'll see you, and they'll just be like, Markiplier? What? And they'll nudge their buddy, and their buddy will be like, whoa, Markiplier? Is that Markiplier? And all the zombies will just be like, whoa, it's Mark! That's Mark! And then all the people that you're with will be like, oh, screw this dude. And they will bail on you. And you will have to sign autographs and hug zombies until you die.
Thanks, man. That's a good way to look at it. And I think that's very accurate. All right. Thank you very much. Well, I'm bringing this to a close. Thank you guys so much for your stories and suggestions and research about how the world is going to end, all the things that are going to cause
Oh, we're
problems.
supposed to look into it? I just talk.
Yeah, I know. That's what you usually do.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, we can tell.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
News to me.
You remember the whole part about bringing interesting stories to the table?
No, I just wake up and show up. Dude.
No, you do. We know you do. We know. All right. Anyway, but thank you so much for listening at home. I'm tabulating the points. I based them on interesting points and humor. And with a 6 points for interesting points and a 8 points for humor, Bob has a total of 14 points.
Oof,
and
not enough.
with 3 interesting points for Wade and then 7 points for humor.
17.
You have a 10 points, which makes Bob the winner by 4 glorious points. Congratulations, Bob.
Wait.
All right.
A fantastic participant. You really swept it. I can tell the effort that you put into this episode, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby, would you like to make a glorious speech?
I want to thank my parents for raising me right. I want to thank the public school system for usurping a lot of the parenting that my parents were supposed to be doing and raising me mediocrely. And I want to thank myself for being so fucking funny.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm welcome? No, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Give
you
me
very
my
much.
trophy.
Do I get to give a loser speech?
Not at all. Will, please mute Wade. No, make him sound like he's behind like a pane of glass and he's kind of obscured.
He's in the other room.
He's in the other room.
Guys, come on.
The
All right.
loser's room.
Yeah, the loser zone.
Hey, don't forget
forget about me.
All right. So thank you, everybody at home. We appreciate you. You can find Bob at facebook.com/Meiskerm. That's MUYSKERM. You can find Wade over on his various channels on Twitch, Minion777. And my name is Mark Blair. I've been your host. Next week, it will be Bob hosting the glorious winner.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe and follow wherever you're listening to this podcast. And that way you can enjoy it every week. We upload new episodes on Mondays. And thank you so much. Stop by our subreddit, reddit.com/r/distractible to look at some funny posts and join some conversation about it. This has been the Distractible Podcast.
Recount. I want to recount.
Podcast out.